So let's just settle into our meditation posture and, try and get in touch with that part of you that you kind of get in touch with when you're going in deep inside. Try and get in touch with that still part of you. And if you do have your feet flat on the floor, try and really feel the earth and the soles of your feet meeting, even if it's through shoes or slippers. Make sure your sits bones are raised, particularly if you're sitting cross-legged. Align your shoulders with your hips and lengthen your spine. Imagine it's a string of pearls of light. Put some space in between those vertebrae and just lengthen. The head is very slightly, just tip it forward from the hinge. Eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose. Relax the jaw. Bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. In the back of the head, just release all the tension in the back of the head, just at the base of the skull, the occipital bone. And relax the ears, the inner ears, the temples, the jaw, back of the tongue. Relax the neck. Just allow your shoulders and your shoulder blades just to drop down. Keep lengthening. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all your limbs. Relax your hands and fingers, feet, and even your toes. Bring the mind to the breath. And just notice those very subtle sensations of air as you're inhaling and exhaling. If there are any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to follow them with your mind. And then just notice what's arising, what thoughts or feelings, and then check how you are interpreting it. Try not to follow a story. Try not to have opinions or criticize or judge. Just take a step back and see what's arising. And then just sit ourselves down on the bank of our river, just watching that river flow on by and remembering while we're sitting on the bank, we're watching, we're free from the river. And maybe you have some people of your life, just bring them to mind, your loved ones, spouses, children, dear friends, then those ones you're not so keen on, and then the strangers. I think that they all equal, same as us, in their wish to be happy, their wish to be free from suffering, and in having this unbelievable capacity for this enlightened mind. Yes, even the ones we don't like. I think we'll do this practice this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. So this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so we can equally change it by creating positivity instead. So we start the 4 opponent powers with the power of regret. And so sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being in this life and in all past lives. And think everything we experience is due to our past karma, our past action. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. So we don't want that. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, who can I turn to? What can I do about it? So here we come to the power of reliance. We rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor. We just see him as a doctor that has methods that we can use to purify. And so we're not really asking for forgiveness here. We are looking to do the work ourselves using the methods and the medicine of Vajrasattva. So just imagine Vajrasattva is above the crown of your head. You can imagine, if this visualization is a bit tricky for you, just imagine this ball of white light, healing energy. And he's your guru or your teacher or your trusted mentor manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a sweet red mouth. He has radiant face and beautiful eyes. They're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, symbolizing enlightenment, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you may have harmed recently or in the past, or maybe generally, maybe you've harmed beings in past lives. You just don't remember. So have compassion for them. The ones who've harmed you because of the harm they've caused you is going to ripen as suffering for them in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine. Doing the practice of purification. So imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sutam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentiment with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So next is a purification of speech, and Vajrasattva now very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just it's kind of the same as when you fill a dirty glass in the sink, maybe yogurt or milk or something. It's easier to imagine. You can imagine all the bits and pieces float to the top and then overflow. So it's the same here. All the junk comes to the top of the body and just overflows, except Rinpoche says quite forcefully. And you can imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you and overflowing as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sutam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dita me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dita me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dita me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dita me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. Just imagine someone has a problem, they want to talk to you, and just imagine that the only words that fall from your mouth are something that's going to be wise and beneficial and helpful to that person's mind. So next is a purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva again very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around, enters your crown, and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you switch on the light in the room is instantly dispelled. So same here, the moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and anxieties and depression and anger and bitterness and grudges, if there's violence in your mind, all of this is resentment and jealousy, instantly dispelled, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dita me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sutam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dita me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dita me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dita me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dita me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dita me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anarakta mebhawa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawakama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita tita mebhawa sutokaya mebhawa sipokaya mebhawa Anarakta mebhawa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawakama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion and brilliance and creativity. So next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And imagine Vajrasattva now very happily sends light and nectar that fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebhawa Sutokaya Mebhawa Supokaya Mebhawa Anarakta mebhawa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawakama sita me. Siddham shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita tita mebhawa sutokaya mebhawa supokaya mebhawa Anarakta mebhawa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawakama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita tita mebhawa sutokaya mebhawa supokaya mebhawa Anarakta mebhawa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawakama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita tita mebhawa sutokaya mebhawa supokaya mebhawa Anarakta mebhawa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawakama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita tita mebhawa sutokaya mebhawa supokaya mebhawa Anarakta mebhawa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawakama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita tita mebhawa sutokaya mebhawa supokaya mebhawa Anarakta mebhawa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawakama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita tita mebhawa sutokaya mebhawa supokaya mebhawa Anarakta mebhawa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawakama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Now feel you are completely purified. Not a single atom of negativity in your mind stream, and even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So now we come to the power of resolve, and this is a really crucial step in the purification process, is where we make a decision to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this decision, we're just going to keep falling into the same old patterns. You just have to make an effort. So bring something to mind that you're working on. Maybe you've got some anger towards a person. Perhaps you could try and soften that. Notice when it's arising. Think about how you can do it differently. Maybe it's something to do with your speech. Whatever it is, give yourself a reasonable timeline. Keep an eye on it and remember to rejoice in your small successes. And this determination to not do again or to refrain from doing is what gives us the strength to change. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think my guru's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. So just think a little bit about emptiness. Place your mind there as much as you understand this concept, thinking that perhaps all phenomena are empty, they don't exist from their own side. Think that also perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification practice to all living beings. And I just wanted to slip this name, Jim Nash, in, who's got, I think, something, cancer, something happening. Anyway, he's a friend of our neighbor. So I said I would dedicate for him as well. And all sentient beings. And may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as our enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, we have some prayers. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, excuse me, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. For Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Tub shu chang xin jam gon Galloway, Tenzin kyong pelaway, Kunza dog porze, chog sum gurway leg mon to droop. Dog sog dulaje kondu jab ten shok. Lama Ursel Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. Geshe Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Thank you very much, everybody. Lots of love. I'll see you tomorrow morning.